Hey Libra, it's great to see you again. I hope that February is getting off to a great start for you. Just a reminder, you can always use my forecast for your sun sign, your rising, and also for your moon. Now, I like to begin each reading with a bit of channeled information. And I pause before I start each reading, meditate, I select a deck of cards, and I really try to tune into the main purpose or message that I'm guided to bring to you. And this month it was that really there are no accidents in life, that everything that's happening is something that you've either called in or that the universe is providing as an opportunity for you. So that feeds into the message, which is to focus on the opportunities. And if we perceive everything that's coming to us as a blessing, as some sort of opportunity to expand, to learn, possibly even to course correct, then in effect, we are supported always, which is a far more empowering and I would also say ultimately optimistic way to look at the world around us. And it's tempting. There's a lot of chaos, sometimes even negativity, that can kind of pull us into another direction. I'm encouraging all of us to think that, to kind of tune out some of that. Of course, we have to participate in the world that's around us. We have to help the world and make it brighter. But we have to focus first on understanding what's happening in our life so that we don't get caught up in that, and so that we can be that beacon of hope and we can help open up other people's hearts and minds. So know that you are supported, that you're being guided daily, and each event that's happening is going to bring you closer to your soul's purpose. Once you've embraced that, once you see that, then opportunities really abound. They're going to be all around you. All right. So let me get into the format here for those of you that are new. As you see, I start every reading with that channeled information. Then I pull a Celtic cross next. And then I like to expand every forecast to include health, wealth, love, and destiny. I have one extra card, which I'll get to in a moment, and that's called a catalyst. And for me, the catalyst card will connect everything. But let's take a pause here. I'm going to be quiet, shuffle the deck here, and see what messages the cards have to bring for you today. And let's pull that catalyst, and then I'll get into everything. For the most part, it's a very good spread here. There's a couple of cards of fear, but we'll get into that. Okay, so we have, in effect, a reinterpreted version of the Tower card here. Now, because this is in the catalyst position, this means that you get a chance to basically recreate things or restructure your life this month. This is something that you can take autonomy over. It's not happening to you. So in fact, it could almost be seen as the suggestion for the month. So there's going to be many opportunities as we look through the cards here in a moment for you to affect change, for you to let go of things, for you to start from scratch in some areas. So we'll take a look at that, but just realize that if we remove this word and just put change, that would be the main message that came through with that. There's also a slight undercurrent there of trying not to be self-destructive, and so we'll get to that in a moment because there's a couple of cards at the top here that could bring you down that path, but because of my channeled information, I think you'll be able to overcome that. The center card speaks to what I was saying at the beginning. This is a portal month for you, a chance to move through and to create new things. So we have the Ace of Pentacles here, which is a fantastic card for new jobs, for bringing in new money, for reimagining the way you work. It's also a card where you might start something new, a new relationship. It's a very favorable card to have at the center of the spread, and again, it underlines the fact that everything this month is bringing through new value, new opportunities, and you really need to embrace that part of it. We have the Four of Cups on top of that. And as I look at the Four of Cups, the main message at the beginning of the month is to try not to lose your concentration, try not to get pulled in by emotions of frustration. This is basically encouraging you to see things as half full, not half empty. And when you do that, that's when you actually see the extra opportunity that I alluded to at the beginning. And this is a card of sometimes missed potential. For those of you that aren't happy, that aren't feeling attached to whatever you're doing. This could be your job. It could also be just not feeling attached to relationships, since cups are a very emotional suit. Then what you can do is figure out, is it real? Is it something that you've been feeling for a while and just sort of slid underneath the rug? Or is this something that's just affecting you because of maybe, not taking care of yourself, boredom, not enough sleep? Whatever it is, I want you to work on remedying it. So if you're just not feeling yourself, try to take care of your mind, body, and spirit. But if there is something significant that you need to address, the Four of Cups is also a card where you can't really hide it any longer. It's saying that, okay, I need to face this. Once you do that, then something valuable can come through. Now, when I'm looking at what happened maybe in the past week or two, maybe in the last month, some of you have had new love opportunities open up, which is great, or your heart is feeling a little bit more open, so you might be more passionate about some projects that you're working on or just life in general. But I like that your grounding card, your root card here, is the Lovers. Really is good month for you to expand, to try new things, to meet new people. And if you're in an existing relationship, I want you to try to reconnect with that partner, because it feels like at the very beginning of the month anyway, your energy is in a very good place for love, for relationships, etc. Now, there's still some fear or discomfort surrounding money and resources. So the best way to address this is to sit down and take a look at things. And for some of you, that means making a budget. For others, it might just mean putting yourself in a different way of thinking. Instead of feeling like, again, things are not ever going to work out, try to go at it from a more of a proactive standpoint, which is, if you are finding that the money isn't where you want it to be, look and see, are there other opportunities that I can go after? And how are you feeling about yourself? Because I've been saying this across all signs this month, but I do believe that your self-worth will ultimately translate into net worth, and the same is true. So if you aren't getting paid enough, if you aren't charging people for, if you're an independent businesswoman or businessman and you're not getting paid or you're not invoicing, what happens is you start to devalue yourself, and then people devalue you, and it's sort of a cyclical thing that can kind of happen. So it's really important that you are taking care of that and finding that balance between self and net worth. That'll make you happier, and it's also fair. It's an exchange of energy, so you will be able to sort that out, but that's something where there's a little bit of work that can be done. This is also just a general health card, so make sure that you're feeling well and anyone in your family. For many people, the Five of Pentacles can be attached to a mother figure, so perhaps there is someone in your life that fills that role that might be not feeling well, or there might be room for improvement in that relationship. I see this as something you want to resolve in the first week or two if you can, so that you can focus on all of the other challenges and opportunities that are happening the rest of the month. Watch your sleep this month. We have the Nine of Swords card in the crowning position. Make sure you're getting ample amount of sleep that's good for your body and your routine, and if not, then that's going to hold you back. This is also a card that reminds you fear is, occasionally it can be a good survival instinct, but when it comes to going after your goals and trying to make things happen, it can hold you back as well. So I want to encourage you to really check in and see, is this something that is just an emotion, or is it a valid sort of fear that you have? And if it is, then that's something that you can try to remedy. So if there's something that you're worrying about and you know that it's something that needs to be fixed, like you need to go to the doctor because you have a toothache, then that's easy to fix. But if it's just a fear of failure, then you have to take risks in life, and this card is there to remind you not to let go of something just because you think it might not work out. I see great growth and expansion when it comes to your overall development, whether that's at school, at work, or for some of you even in your business and finances. So although you might be starting off in a place where you're wondering, can I do it? What I'm seeing here is yes, but you have to, with the Eight of Pentacles, it's a card where there's a lot of investment. So with hard work comes great rewards as well. So you have to put the energy into it, but if you do that, then the universe is supporting you. A little bit of a challenge for some of you to stay open-minded to other people's feedback. to, again, some of the changes and opportunities that are abounding this month, I think that it's a fantastic month to start new projects, to, for those of you that are writers or express yourself through composition or music, you might find a wonderful boon of energy that's coming, and you'll be able to ride that wave and get a lot done. For the rest of you, you could just notice that you're more productive and you're able to check a lot of items off your to-do list. So that looks great as well. Because I saw the Lovers in the deep past, you could also see a strong air sign coming in. So keep an eye out for that. When I'm looking at hopes and fears, patience is what I would sort of try to imbue here. When I'm looking at the Hanged Man, try not to feel like you're stuck. And that really goes back to the initial message that I had here, which was focus on the opportunity. There are some delays, it looks like, here in either what you want to do and the amount of time that you want to do it. But this is ultimately, the Hanged Man can be a very positive card. And because I have it in the hopes and fears area, I want you to kind of go back to the mythology of the card, which was, I believe it was Odin hanging upside down to get knowledge or inspiration. And the pause there was one that was necessary. So whatever delays come through this month, see them as a necessary fork in the road, where you are either going to be saved from doing something that may not be beneficial, or because you delay, some new opportunity will come through and you'll be happy that you didn't commit to something. So I want you to be productive, because right underneath that we have the Knight of Swords. Try to be productive in any sort of downtime that you have. And for those of you that happen to be overworked, because your outcome card is the Ten of Swords, these two are just saying take a break and take some time to regroup. If we kind of bring it back to the Catalyst card, this might be a month for you to just completely take stock. Maybe the last week of the month, if you have any saved up vacation time, you could take off that week, plan, look at everything, look at your finances, look at your health, look at your long-term goals, and decide to make some changes or adjustments if necessary. Because we get this reading at the beginning of every month, you can avoid this. You can avoid this exhaustion card. And I really see this Ten of Swords as just that. Don't abuse your body. Focus on getting enough rest, as I was saying with this card. And if you do that, I think you can avoid this. The other thing with the Ten of Swords is it's a card of arguments. And realize that if there's someone that you just always seem to kind of be butting heads with, it's not worth it. The Hanged Man shows that this is like a draw. No one's going to really win this argument. So I want you to avoid saying something that inadvertently hurt someone, or that later you regret hurting someone. There's definitely an opportunity to avoid that. I see it towards the end of the month, the third and the fourth week. So my advice is to step away and to regroup and to focus on something else, because this is a Tower card as well. So I don't want you to experience the Tower through that. Let's go ahead and expand the forecast now. We'll start off with your health card. I like to remind everyone that health is mind, body, and spirit. So we'll see what the cards have to say this month and where the focal point is. Your health card this month is about, it's another Tower, believe it or not, and it says, I accept the challenges are the best way to learn. And so for you, some of you, there could be some health changes that you need to make. So take a look at what your family history is for certain things, whether it's blood pressure, diabetes, heart disease. And this is a time to talk to your doctor and make sure that you are tracking well, that you're doing everything that you can to try to make positive changes. Some of you may just be unfortunately faced with a health concern that you didn't expect, and the universe is giving you a not so gentle nudge in that case to seriously make changes and embrace the fact that this is the new truth and this is what you have to do to be healthy, happy, and live as long as possible. It's very hard, let's put it this way, it's very hard when faced with bad news or difficult news to see the silver lining. But what happens a lot of times is people can rebound and really make the most of all of the remaining faculties and all of the remaining days in their lives, and that's what I'm challenging you to do with whatever setback you have. Okay, now let's take a look at your wealth card. I'm using Lord Ganesha deck this month because I believe that I really like the messages that Ganesha has of overcoming obstacles. And so if there are any challenges that you're experiencing, let's see what you can do to overcome them with your career and wealth. So it says energetic movement. Momentum is something that's contagious, and I want you to feel this really positive sort of contagious energy when it comes to making money, being successful, and making some sort of a breakthrough with your work. Your central card, I'll pull the camera down here, was the Ace of Pentacles, which shows me that there's no reason to fear finances this month. And I also saw, it's really right across the center here, moving from a place of fear to opportunity to growth and empowerment. And that's really your message this month, is to feel that momentum well up in you and allow for you to be successful and really to kind of ride the wave the rest of the year. Okay, I'll leave the camera down as I shuffle here for your love card. We looked at health, wealth. Now we're going to look at relationships and love. And this can be any sort of relationship in your life. Let's just see what the cards have to say. We have a message here that says take a chance, which reminds me of that old ABBA song. But we have the Lover's card here in the deep past here, and this card is reversed, which shows that there might be a little bit of apprehension or doubt with that. But as I said earlier, if we look at the Nine of Swords card, you don't want to let fear get in the way of opportunity. And if you feel good about this, if in your core this seems like it's worth exploring, do it. Remember that this love, I should mention that whenever I'm looking at love, it can also be passion that you can use for other things in your life. So if there's something that you're excited about doing, something that you love to do, there's a risk involved with it. Take a chance on that as well, okay? All right, let's take a look now at your Destiny card. Your Destiny card is a reminder that you have the ability to change what you want in your life. It's a free will card, and you're always able to shift and to alter your ultimate destiny. We have markers, and we have a lot of situations that we've sort of chosen before coming into this life and into this body, but what we do with them is solely up to us. So let's see if you like your current path here, and if there's any information about where you're headed to help you make the decision of what you want to do. Okay, we got two cards, so I'll read them both. The first card is it's book and knowledge. So with this, what I really see is that this is a month of introspection, a chance to take stock, to review, and that's really what it is to make sure that you feel comfortable, that you have enough information and enough knowledge to proceed, and again, you're feeling like you're empowered. The second card here is Omen, paying attention to the signs, and also when we look at this card, I want you to see the ability for you to always go through another exit or another portal. And that's really what this card is. It's another portal card. So you have a chance to open up a new opportunity even if one was closed on you, okay? And so do your research this month to make sure that you're happy with where you're at. Let's go ahead and review everything that we talked about. As I reminded you at the beginning, there are many opportunities this month, and they may be disguised as delays, as disappointments, or as events that you can't explain or understand. Instead of feeling for some reason that all of these things are happening to you, realize that they're happening for you, and then know that you're not trapped. You actually can always open up a new opportunity of your own if you don't like the path that you're on. As we look at the cards here, your catalyst this month was a card of, I would say, reconstruction. For some of you, it might be taking apart or putting back together, but there's some chances to improve things. In particular, you may want to look at your health. We talked about that. Central card is very promising. We have Ace of Pentacles. Again, great growth and opportunity across your financial and your work sectors this month, going from the 5 to the 8 of Pentacles, and right in the center, we see that new opportunity on the horizon. There's also a lot of crystals in this Ace of Pentacles, which means be clear on what you're trying to do. The 4 of Cups card is one where you don't want to get lost in what hasn't worked. You want to see instead what could happen. And if there's something that's making you unhappy that you've kind of swept under the rug, this is saying it's time to face that head on. For many of you, it may be a month where love is budding and growing. I haven't seen that in a lot of signs, so embrace it if that's happening. Don't be afraid to take a chance on that love or on some sort of a passion in your life that you want to pursue. Try not to be closed-minded. This is especially important as we look at the the fear card and the outcome card. You could get into an argument here just because you're unable or unwilling to listen to another point of view. Be careful there. And it could come from a fire sign because we have that Knight of Wands. I see a clash between the Knight of Wands and Knight of Swords, so be careful. On the positive side, this is a chance for you to develop ideas. Don't hold back. Also a great time to start new projects, to execute contracts, to sign something new. There will be, for some of you, some delays. I want you to embrace that and take time to rest. Avoid this card, which can be indicative of sickness or illness or fatigue. You can overcome that through resting. As we expand the forecast, your health card is one where you want to take a look at how are you on track? Is there anywhere in your mind, your body, your spirit where you could make some changes that could help you overcome either family or genetic predispositions for certain illnesses. For some of you, this can just be a mental card, which is saying, try to let go of arguments and adversity in your life. As we look at your wealth card, try to ride the wave here of productivity that we're seeing. Energetic movement, I see a lot of growth. For love, again, don't be afraid to go after something that you love or that you care about. Sure, there may be risk involved, but it's worth the risk if you look back and think, at least I tried it, and who knows, maybe this will work out. That's what this is saying. With the Lover's card in your deep past, it's portending positivity, or at least the idea that you should go after it. And then when we look at your Destiny card, we had two notes. One, which is to just make sure that you understand where you're at, that you feel that you have enough information before making a decision. The other thing is, if something doesn't go the way you want, know that there may be another way to get to your desired end. There's always another way, and that's really what I want to end the forecast saying. So I hope that this was helpful for you, but I know that there may be other questions that you have, and if you ever want to have a one-on-one with me, you can check the description area below, and I have a link there where you can check out rates and availability. I'd be happy to chat with you about your life and what's coming through for you. Also, if you would like to stay in touch with me, the easiest way to do that is simply to subscribe to this channel. There's two links. There's a subscribe icon and then also a little bell. The bell will send you emails when I post new videos. If you'd prefer, you can use my newsletter instead as a way to stay in touch. And again, there'll be subscription information in that description area below. Additionally, if you just like what you see on this channel and you'd like to support me, there are a couple ways to do that. You can do it through my website or through Patreon. And I have multiple levels of engagement there too, as little as $1. It makes a big difference here. To stay in touch, another way to do that is through Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. I'd love to have you join me there if you are on those social networks. And I like to end every video with gratitude, not just for the likes and subscribes, which I do appreciate, but gratitude for the work that you're doing on yourself. I have one message that I'm trying to bring to all signs and all readings this month, which is individually, we can shine and create beauty in our life, but if we collectively increase our light, our love, and our energy, then it's almost like putting a million-watt light out there, and it's amazing what this planet could look like if we could all just sort of embrace positivity, love, and again, opportunity, to go back to your message this month. So if you do that, if you just improve upon yourself, you're making this planet a better place to live. So keep doing that. Be yourself. Thank you for allowing me to have some time here to light your path as well, and I will see you very soon. Bye-bye.